Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Sharon Wong and this is my first YouTube video. So I'm so excited you decided to join. I'm hoping that this channel is going to share some inspiration, insight into the world of perimenopause because I have entered it fully, and in the past 2 years I've had a myriad of symptoms and they've been perplexing, overwhelming, confusing, and I've had a lot of emotional ups and downs, and I really am trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. And I thought that maybe some other women might benefit from hearing my journey, hearing my story, and what I'm going through. So one of the main things that I'm focusing this channel on is my journey of discovering Dr. Stacy Sims, and her book, The Next Level, is helping guide me through all of these changes that I've experienced, starting my late 40s and into my early 50s. So this book is my guide that I'm going to be sharing as I do step by step different small changes that I make over the next year. And I'm also going to be documenting my results and what's worked and what hasn't, and my ups and downs and my challenges through it. So yeah, I hope that you find some inspiration, some benefit from all of this as we hopefully navigate these symptoms together. So last year I turned 51, and I've always been an active person. In college, I lifted a little bit of weights. I was big into aerobics back then, but ever since then, I have done ultimate frisbee. I've been a runner. I've done sprint triathlons, and it wasn't until probably last year that I started having a lot of physical issues, and the first one being joint pain. My knees really flared up to the point where if I would walk for more than 30 minutes, I would feel knee pain. And it was quite shocking to me because I've never had such physical kind of issues. I think for the most part, I've taken for granted my physical health and my ability to recover relatively quickly from exercising or whatever active thing I'm doing. So last year when I was hiking in Chautauqua Boulder, Colorado, it was just a very easy 3-mile hike, and I literally could not complete this very easy hike. I had 2 hiking poles. I was wearing kind of knee braces to help my knees, and I really truly felt like an old lady. So it really got me concerned because we had a road trip planned to go to the Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, and Glacier, where we were planning on doing 7, 8, 9-mile hikes. So I really got motivated to get to the bottom of what was going on with my knees. So the first thing I did is I got an x-ray, and I found out I do have osteoarthritis in my knees. And the doctor recommended physical therapy. So I started with one physical therapy company that honestly I didn't love, and it didn't yield great results. And so I kind of gave up. But then as this road trip was approaching, I decided that I really needed to try again. And I had run into another friend in my yoga class, and I explained my symptoms, and she said, "Oh, I had the exact same symptoms." And I went to Atlas PT, which is in Central Park, Colorado here. So I made an appointment and I started seeing the physical therapist there. And I will say that they worked wonders on my knees. I did intensive PT. I went twice a week for 4 weeks, and then did my home PT exercises every single day. And I'm so grateful to say that I was able to hike 7 miles in the Tetons and 9 miles in Glacier with no knee issues. It was amazing. So the PT really, really did help me get on my journey kind of back into physical health, even just walking and doing the basic things that I love. But in addition to the joint pain, I started having a lot of other symptoms. Actually, I've probably been having these for several years, but joint pain, vertigo, lightheadedness, feelings of just melancholy and weepiness, and just feeling kind of sad and down, weight gain, disrupted sleep, I pretty consistently wake up almost every single night in the middle of the night, and I'm up for 1 to 2 hours. Um, Hot flashes, low sex drive, dry skin, and forgetfulness. So all of this was overwhelming and confusing to me to have all of these symptoms. So one day when I was talking to my girlfriend and telling her that I was feeling really kind of sad and down, she said, Sharon, it's not you, it's your hormones. And I thought that was really helpful because it stopped getting me to shame myself for feeling this way and to understand that, something physiological, biological is happening in my body, and my body is changing, and my hormones are changing, which is causing my moods to change. So that was really helpful in just me starting the process of accepting this new journey that I'm on. So my neighbor, my good neighbor, introduced me to Dr. Stacy Sims. She had found her on social media and really loved what she was saying. And she said, Sharon, we really need to lift heavy weights as women in our 40s, 50s, and 60s. And at first I was really shocked by that. I was like, really? We're going to have to lift heavy weights? Like that won't make us bulky? But there are so many myths around lifting heavy weights for women, which I will definitely address, and which Dr. Sims also addresses in her book. So, that kind of kickstarted me into changing up my workout routine. And I think one of the first things I committed to doing was seeing a personal trainer, because I want to lift heavy, but I also know that if you lift heavy from the gate, you could potentially injure yourself. So I knew that at 51, I'm definitely going to need some professional help and guidance, and I need to ease my way in to weightlifting. I know that many women are very driven. We also want results quickly, and we're willing sometimes to sacrifice things, but I feel like this is a non-negotiable. Like, if you are considering lifting heavy, to not just go right into the gym and just like start lifting weights that you're not comfortable lifting yet, because you really could injure yourself seriously. So my first step was seeing my neighbor, who actually lives across the street from me. She's a personal trainer. My neighbor and I went together, and we started to learn about how to lift properly. And what was so interesting is the first visit with this personal trainer, her name was Lucy, she spent the whole hour just teaching us how to foam roll our body. And I had learned how to foam roll in physical therapy, so I knew, but I think it really kind of solidified, okay, at our age, mobility is very important. In our 20s and 30s, we don't necessarily need to work so much on mobility, PT, but for me, for sure, in my 50s, mobility exercises, foam rolling, PT, rolling out my feet with with tennis balls, things like that, which I will definitely talk about, is super important. So I knew that this was going to be a slow process. I'm not going to be lifting heavy right away. I need to make sure my body is at a certain point before I can really get into that lifting heavy. But I was excited to start this journey. So the first step was seeing Lucy, my personal trainer. And I know that can be quite an investment in personal training. So I'll talk about all the different ways that we can hopefully work within everyone's budget as you embark on this new journey of exercise, nutrition, and just changing your mindset. So yeah, I'm excited to share my journey. I'm excited that you're here. And I hope I continue to share what I'm going through. So thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video.